There's nothing more dangerous to a woman than a man and his friend. I met Bruno in the summer of 2008. He was a goalkeeper for my country's football team. I was drawn in by his talents and his looks, but I fell in love with his words, his lies. He promised me the world. In 2009, two incredible things happened just days apart. For Bruno, his career was about to reach new heights, as he was officially slated to be the starting keeper for the World Cup. For me, my life was about to change forever. I found out I was pregnant. For a few weeks, I was on top of the world. Bruno promised to marry me. I would be a queen, married to a king, carrying a king's child. But then Bruno disappeared, not from the world, but from me. He claimed to know I had cheated on him, that the baby wasn't his, and before I could prove him wrong, he was gone. Day after day, I still saw him on TV, taking interviews with his team, but I never heard from him, nor could I reach him. The only response I got was a threatening letter from his security team, ordering me to stop contacting Bruno. But without a doubt, I knew the baby was his. I had never been with anyone but him. I wasn't going to let him run from this. If he didn't want to be with me, I could handle that heartbreak, but his child didn't deserve to be a bastard. Months later, Bruno's son was born. I thought then that there could be a chance to prove I was right. Bruno would undoubtedly earn millions, and for just a fraction of that money, we would never have to worry about a thing. All I had to do was get Bruno to agree to a paternity test. However, we came to an agreement sort of under the table. Bruno said he wouldn't take the test unless I agreed to meet him somewhere off the record, under his own circumstances. I wasn't sure what he wanted. He said he just wanted to talk, but we couldn't be seen together by the public. It would hurt his image if the media caught wind of the scandal. Then they would find out about me, then the boy. Bruno told me to drive out to his family ranch in the countryside. He wanted to meet late at night, when nobody would be watching his home for visitors. I wanted to get it over with. This was going to be my first time I had seen Bruno in over a year. The rest of my life, our son's life, was riding on this encounter.
You better be home, asshole.
Down! Down! Down!
Thank you.
Sorry about Tina here. She's just protection. You can never be too careful these days.
Yeah, I get it. It's fine. Can I come inside so we can talk?
Of course, of course. Take a seat.
You sure have a lot of guard dogs.
Like I said, you can never be too careful.
Right, look, I brought the test. After we talk, I can just leave it here, and you can take it and mail it back whenever you want.
Oh, that? No, I'm not taking that.
What? You promised!
I'm not stupid. I know those things are no different from you. All they do is lie. They're full of different man's seed every day. You'll forge the results to say whatever you want them to. So, I'm not taking it.
That's ridiculous! Why even drag me all the way out here?
So you know I'm serious when I tell you for the last time that it's over.
No, you piece of shit! You can't do this to me!
Shut up! Shut your whore mouth and listen! You're gonna leave that test here, then go away and never come back. Never contact me, never talk about me to anyone. Is that finally clear to you?
No! You will not do this to your son! You will take this test and own up
Tina! Kill! Shut her up.
Bruno was a star Brazilian goalkeeper, tipped to play for his country at the 2014 FIFA World Cup. In 2010, he ordered the brutal kidnapping and murder of his former girlfriend, Elisa Samudio. Her remains were later fed to dogs to hide the evidence. He was sentenced to over 22 years in prison, entirely derailing his career right before the tournament. Bruno, his lover, and his ex-wife were among 9 people charged with the torturing and murdering of Samudio, who had been trying to prove Bruno was the father of her son. Samudio's body was never found, But the goalkeeper's cousin told the courts that Myuu had been demanding child support payments, which most likely caused Bruno to snap and do what he did. Anyone who knows me knows I am Ronaldo's biggest fan in the world. I've been called obsessed. I own that with pride. Ever since I've been famous enough to afford the tickets, I've been to every one of Ronaldo's games. I wouldn't miss a game even if my girl was about to give birth. A bitch is just a bitch, but Ronaldo is irreplaceable. He's one of one, the best to ever do it. Aside from tickets and travel expenses, a good chunk of my sizable income goes to collecting all the little pieces of Ronaldo I can. All his posters, merchandise, jerseys, everything he signs. It has to be mine, and it has to go in the shrine. I used to let chat see the Ronaldo shrine, but they don't deserve it anymore. They don't understand. They call it crazy and creepy. Now, it stays my own private place where I can go to be alone with Ronaldo. It's the one place I feel most connected to him. Sometimes, that still doesn't feel like enough. I always want to be closer. I met him once before, but the interaction was so short, so impersonal. I don't feel like we really met as individuals. I'm sure if we ran into each other again, we would actually click. It's just impossible to find out where that man will be at any given moment, except that's not true. Whenever he has a game, I'll know exactly where he's going to be and how long he will be there. The only problem is getting close to him. Due to my heightened mental state during our first meeting, his security has remained equally heightened. Trying to intercept him before or after the game is hopeless. My only chance is during the game. That would make me a streaker. Not that I would have a problem with that. I've lit off fireworks in my bedroom, backflipped onto desks with $10,000 setups, and tumbled down a cliff chasing after a cheese wheel. Drinking at a football game is totally on brand for me, so the plans were made. Chat knew what was about to happen, but they kept the secret for me, giving me another chance to meet my idol. My camera crew would be right there with me, every step of the way, and we bought front row tickets to make the run-up as short as possible. Even with all my preparations, I had nightmares about the whole thing. Crippling anxiety, the kind where the only cure is to get up and go through with the damn thing. When the night finally came, the stadium was electric. This wasn't some dingy parking garage like last time. Millions would be watching our meeting. This night would go down in history as the moment when two greats combined forces. All that was left to do was wait for a lull.
Go time! Let's go! Let's go! Oh shit! Keep up, bro! Everyone, out of the way! There he is! Ronaldo! Ronaldo! Ronaldo, it's me! Ronaldo! Ronaldo! It's me, Speed! Do you remember me? You embarrassing, clout-chasing imbeciles! You'll pay for stepping on my pitch! Oh shit! I'm sorry! We're sorry! Dude, run! Ah! Please! I'm sorry. We didn't understand. We'll never do it again.
All that was left to do was wait for a lull. Ronaldo. Something must have happened to him. He must have been possessed or something. I don't know. But he wasn't the Ronaldo I knew and loved. He ate my best camera guy. I ran like hell. I hid and disguised myself among the crowds, sneaking my way back through the airport. Getting home hours later, exhausted from constantly checking over my shoulder, I managed to get back into my house without Ronaldo following me. Looking forward to climbing into bed, I pulled the sheets over my face and shut my eyes, hoping I would wake up the next day, and this would all just be another nightmare. But I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, flipped my bed around every which way, shutting and opening my eyes over and over again, begging to see the morning light. Instead, I saw him.
No way! You're not real! You're just seeing things. He's not really there. Ah! Get away from me, demon! You're not the real Ronaldo! I hate you! Go back to hell! Just go to sleep, demon. Just go to sleep. When I look out from under these covers again, you better not be there! Whoever you are, I'll shoot! Ronaldo?
12 years ago, millions of people around the country were gathered around televisions with friends, foes, and families to watch us play Italy at the World Cup. I was at a bar, drinking alone. My Italian friend as well as my neighbor, Carlo, was supposed to meet me over an hour ago to get a few pints in before the match started, but it seemed he had abandoned me. Then, 30 minutes into the match, Carlo bust through the door. He was horribly out of breath, drenched in a mixture of rain, sweat, and could it be tears? The game was still tied at 0. Ready to finally engage in our planned friendly rivalry, I immediately let him have it.
Carlo, you bastard! Where the hell have you been? Wait, don't tell me. Your wife found out about your secretary. Huh, sounds like I struck a nerve. Go! Let's go, Italy! Yeah! You gotta be kidding.
The moment Carlo showed up, Italy scored the first point. The room was dead quiet except for his screaming. I couldn't even remember what I had just been saying to him. Luckily, by the time he dried off, sat down and ordered a drink, England had evened things up. For the next 20 minutes or so, the game stayed tied, and conversation with Carlo remained awkward. Even his cheers as Italy scored again and began to carry the game to victory felt oddly forced.
This is the best football match ever! Woo! Well, you're entitled to your opinion, mate.
Before long, it became clear that England would lose. Despite his country winning, Carlo had caught up and seemed determined to keep drinking. He even offered to buy shots. I couldn't turn down a free drink, so I went in with him. But then one round of shots became 2. By the third, I had to tap out. But Carlo was resolute. He continued to drink hard liquor on his own. As I watched with increasing concern, I was already too intoxicated to remember exactly how many he ended up drinking. A 6th or 7th shot was ordered, but that's when the bartender cut him off. He could barely stand. He grumbled some swears in Italian, almost like he wanted to fight, but couldn't manage to do it. The bartender gave me a sign, and I knew it was time for me to get my friend home. This was made slightly more convenient by the fact we lived next to each other, but it wouldn't exactly be easy. For one thing, I sure as hell wasn't driving, and I didn't think Carlo could even walk home. Somebody had to come pick him up.
This bar's trash. This whole island's trash. Carlo, you're sloshed, man. You gotta go home. I don't have a home. Come on, don't be a brat. You got a loving family, you bastard. A wife and kids, for God's sake. Call Danny or give me your phone, and I'll call her for you. Do not talk about her! Bring my family up again, and I'll kick your teeth out! Let go! I'm trying to help you, asshole! I'll cut you open! Right here! Right now! Get off! Fine, I don't need your help anyway. Crazy bastard. Hey, sorry about that. Go ahead and close my tab.
Carlo forgot his keys when he stormed out, but I knew he needed time to cool off. I figured if he made it home in one piece, his wife could let him in. Maybe 20 minutes later, I left the bar myself, stepping out into a drizzling, muggy night. I walked the same path that Carlo would have walked, half expecting to see him passed out in an alley at many points, but I never saw him. When I arrived home, I walked down to Carlo's door to give him his keys and smooth things over. There wasn't an answer when I rang the doorbell, so I decided to give it one last shot with the knocker, but then my hand ended up pushing the door open before I could grasp it. As the door slowly swung open, I thought Carlo must have drunkenly forgotten to make sure he closed it behind him. But then why didn't his wife shut it? Inside, all the lights were off. There should have been a drunk man, an angry wife, and 2 kids up past their bedtime in there. But instead, silence. A warm metallic odor hit my nose. Something was wrong. I called their names. Nothing. I had to go in and see for myself. I stepped through the door uninvited. Nobody was there to be frightened or chase me out. I only made it around the first corner before I found them all in the kitchen. Carlo's entire family, his wife and 2 children, had been slaughtered. Their bodies were cut open and their blood was splattered across every surface. And Carlo was nowhere to be found. I suddenly realized he had to have done this. I ran out of the house, screaming for help. I must have woken up the whole block. I could have simply called the police. But after seeing what was inside that house, how could anyone remain calm? Indeed, Carlos confessed to everything. Hanging out with me was meant to be his alibi for the crime, but the guilt must have completely broken his mind. Ever since then, the World Cup always makes me think of that night. An Italian man has been charged for taking out his wife and 2 children. before heading to a local bar to watch the Brazil World Cup match between England versus Italy with his friends. Carlo Lizzi, 31, had been charged with the triple slayings. He confessed to police that he stabbed his family and then joined his friends to watch the football game on Saturday night after throwing the knife in a drain. At the bar, the man did not show any sign that he had just taken out his family, but was reportedly moved by the goals of Marchisio and Bellotelli, according to his friends. After confessing to the crime, Lizzi told police he wants the maximum sentence, which in Italy is life in prison. The motive behind the triple homicide is still unclear. Unconfirmed reports say that the man had attempted to make advances on a colleague, but was firmly rejected.